Laura Phelps says she watched both her mother and her father starve themselves to death because they couldn't get a doctor's help to die.
Watching my mom was like watching her turn into a living corpse, and then watching her have to live like that for like another 10 days. That's my mom.
She wishes they could have given advanced consent, a request while still relatively healthy to have a doctor end their lives when their conditions deteriorated. She's disappointed that's not part of the government's plan.
It sounds like what happened to my parents would still happen today with the legislation that was brought forth today.
The government says several tough questions, including advanced consent, need more study, even if it means this proposed law excludes, for example, those with Alzheimer's or dementia.
There is further evidence that's required and further discussions that's required on some of those most complex and sensitive matters.
Staying away from those issues for now satisfies some Conservative concerns.
There are some good aspects to this bill, some important aspects to this bill. There are also some shortcomings.
And that somewhat positive response could help the government get the support of enough MPs to pass this law. Almost all will be able to vote with their conscience on this proposal. There's little time for changes with the Supreme Court's June 6th deadline looming. Even if some civil liberties groups say the plan is incomplete, even discriminatory.
I want you to think about a 16-year-old with terminal cancer whose only option may be to voluntarily stop eating and drinking, to starve or dehydrate themselves to death.
There is another important question the government has left largely in the hands of doctors: when death is deemed reasonably foreseeable. A group representing Canadian doctors says that needs a bit more clarification.
So that we can make sure that physicians are very clear when a patient comes into their office. We all want to be consistent in trying to decide who qualifies and who doesn't.
Ministers say even within Cabinet, there was intense debate over this legislation, in part drawing on their own lives. The health minister, for example, used to be a family doctor.
I've been had the experience of listening to a heartbeat stop. That's a pretty profound experience, and it underscores for me the importance of making sure that we get this right.
Now it's the government putting pressure on MPs, warning of serious consequences if a law isn't passed by June.
A complete vacuum in terms of a criminal code framework around this particularly sensitive issue.
But the Conservatives still have some concerns, like the right of doctors not to get involved. Now, no one is obligated to offer a medically assisted death, but direct referrals are still a sensitive subject, and under this plan, decisions about those may fall to the provinces and territories.